Hello everyone. I wanted to do problem number 6, parts A, B, and C from day number 1 of trig. I want to start with a right triangle, and I'm going to call that right triangle. I'm not going to call it anything. I'm going to call it a right triangle. And I'm going to call this angle theta. So the two acute angles in a right triangle, they add up to 90 degrees. Therefore, theta plus this missing angle should equal pi over 2. So the missing angle I could actually write in terms of theta by taking pi over 2 minus theta. So this angle would be pi over 2 minus theta. So let's consider, what would the cosine of pi over 2 minus theta equal? Well, the cosine of pi over 2 minus theta in this triangle, let's call this side x, this side y, and this side r. The cosine of pi over 2 minus theta would be y over r. If I wanted to simplify this, clearly the sine of theta is also y over r. Therefore, I can say that the cosine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to the sine of theta, as well as sine of pi over 2 minus theta is equal to cosine of theta. All right, so let's look at the 3 examples I have above, as well as considering some even and odd identities along the way. So I've got cosine of pi over 2 minus theta. Well, we just figured out that that's going to be equivalent to sine of theta. And sine of theta minus sine of theta will equal 0. There you have it. Part A is complete. That's equivalent to 0. Well, part B. Well, I have to deal somehow with this negative theta. Well, cosine is an even function. And an even function's definition is that the cosine of the opposite angle will be equivalent to the cosine of a positive angle. So cosine of negative theta will be equal to cosine of positive theta. That's the definition of an even function. Actually, particularly, f of negative x is equal to positive f of x. That's an even function, and cosine is even. Therefore, I'm going to multiply cosine times tangent. And tangent, in terms of sine and cosine, is sine theta over cosine theta. So I can write in an equivalent form that cosine of negative theta times tangent theta is actually equal to sine theta. Okay, part C, we're going to do a little bit with even odd as well as with the complementary angles identity that we developed below. All right, so sine is actually an odd function. By definition, an odd function, f of negative x equals the opposite of f of x, of which sine is odd. Therefore, sine of negative theta is equal to negative sine of theta. Therefore, sine of negative alpha is equal to negative sine alpha. And I'm going to write cosine of alpha minus pi over 2, which is close to what we have below, in this way. I'm going to take out a negative 1, which makes the angle pi over 2 minus alpha. And since cosine is even, that would be equivalent to cosine of pi over 2 minus alpha, which of course we know would be equivalent to sine of alpha, referencing this identity below. Therefore, part C would be equivalent to negative sine squared alpha. All right, guys, hope that made sense for you. Have a great day. See you in the next video.